Hey guys, Josh here from Action Fitness and Nutrition. Today we're going to cover everyone's favorite topic, alcohol. So basically what we're going to do is just talk about how alcohol affects the body, especially when we're looking in terms of weight loss mainly and body recomposition. So obviously holding on to that lean muscle and dropping weight. So first thing we obviously want to cover is the calorie content. So alcohol is 7 calories per gram. So again, for probably most alcohols that are about a standard, you're probably looking around that sort of 70 to 100 calorie mark. Really easy. A lot of those sort of cocktails and things where they start mixing drinks and then again, just adding in carbonated waters and sodas, like full strength Cokes and things like that, the calories are really going to shoot up really quickly. So it's just one of these things that, again, we just need to be mindful of. So I would obviously recommend staying towards like vodka lime sodas. There's a lot of sugar-free pre-mixed options now that are probably around that 100 calorie mark. So again, always aiming for that sort of sugar-free or really low calorie. Seltzers are really good as well, or even just like straight alcohol and shots. Number one, it's going to make it a lot easier to track without blowing out. And number two, you're still gonna be able to have a good time and sort of allocate some calories towards that throughout the week, without blowing out your weekly deficit, depending on what you're trying to do. Obviously this video is about weight loss, so we're saying, we're gonna lose weight. We still wanna allocate some alcohol calories towards those to be able to still get the favorable result and still be able to go out for a few drinks with our mates. In saying that, we're now going to talk more so about when we're eating and then when we're digesting our food and then adding alcohol into the mix. So the problem with alcohol is when we consume alcohol, straight away that's going to go to the front of the line in terms of digestion. So the liver straight away goes, okay, I need to get rid of this alcohol. Alcohol is going to be metabolized. So it's normally around 1 standard drink an hour. So the problem being, if we go out for dinner and drinks, for example, and say we've had 2 or 3 drinks, then we jump in, we grab whatever meal we have, even if we've tracked it, for example, like let's say it's chicken parma, and it's like, cool, around 1,000 calories, whatever it is, decent sized chicken parma with chips and a salad. The problem being, if we consume 2-3 drinks of alcohol, the body's actually not gonna be digesting that food. It's gonna be too busy digesting and detoxifying the liver with the alcohol. So the chances are your body is then going to store that food straight as body fat. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. So I would strongly recommend eating first and then starting to drink, obviously letting digestion a couple of hours and then starting to drink a little later if possible. Last thing I would recommend is obviously avoiding the 3 a.m. kebab shop, because we all know straight away, like that's just going to get stored as body fat pretty much straight away. So obviously we know we can make room for those calories, but at the same time, we've got to be careful about when we're consuming the alcohol and then when we're actually eating past that. The only difference being there will be probably protein. Protein is really hard for the body to store as body fat, but we're talking straight protein. So that's like having a shake or just like straight chicken breast or something like that. If you're having a parma covered with, like cheese and ham and sauces and all that sort of thing, chances are all the sort of carbs and fats used there, the breadcrumbs, etc., are still gonna get stored as fat anyway. So really trying to opt for like a really high protein option, really low in carbs and fats, if you are going to have to have some drinks around dinner, or again, try your best just to wait from that position. The last thing we want to talk about is muscle protein synthesis, and obviously the effects it's going to have the next couple of days, after you've drank. We're obviously talking more of a binge drinking scenario here, so probably 2 to 4 drinks you'd be able to get away with. Probably anything more than 4 or 5 standards in a night, that's when it's going to start to have some negative effects sort of through your body composition. So first one's your sleep. Obviously we won't be getting as much of a deep sleep. We might get 8 hours, but it's probably going to be broken. Not really much quality sleep as well. And so that's going to affect obviously, mood, hunger, etc. From there, we want to then make sure that we're looking, I guess, more specifically at muscle protein synthesis. So it's going to be very hard to build and retain quality lean muscle if we're binge drinking all the time. So basically what alcohol does, it will suppress that muscle protein synthesis signal, and that's going to ensure that we're catabolic, which is we're breaking down muscle tissue, as opposed to anabolic, which is building muscle tissue, which again, we want to remain anabolic as much as we possibly can, whether we're trying to gain muscle, lose body fat, etc., because that's just going to have more favorable effects on our body composition as well. So recapping with the alcohol, again, understand what's in your calories, allocate a small budget so you know what you're having, pre-plan ahead so you know, and make sure that doesn't take out your deficit into what you're doing. Number two, try and stay away from alcohol when you are eating. Again, in terms of digestion, alcohol is going to be number one. Chances are, whatever you've eaten will probably be stored as body fat. And then number three, obviously the after effects in terms of muscle protein synthesis, and then obviously sleep. And that's going to, probably result in you being lazy the next day, making worse choices. And again, same thing, that'll slow down that process of weight loss like we talked about. If you guys have any other questions on alcohol, shoot us a message in the DMs below and we'll be able to help you out. Cheers.